Trying hard not to look like I'm trying that hard. Failing miserably at everything, including that.
What's up, guys? Today we're going to learn how to do pressure flips. So I'm going to try to make this tutorial really easy to understand. This is an easy trick to land sloppy. It's not easy to make this trick look good. That's because the pressure flip pops and flips really close to the ground. It basically drags along the ground as it flips. And that's one of the reasons why this trick is not very popular. That's all you really need to know, because this trick is unlike any other flip trick. You don't really do a kick flip or a heel flip in it. It's all in the back foot. The only trick that actually has the same scoop as a pressure flip is going to be an ollie impossible, and that trick is way harder to learn. So if you set out to learn a pressure flip, you could probably land a sloppy one within a few hours. But it's going to take a little while to get consistent with this trick. After you get really consistent with this trick, it is a great trick to use in a game of skate, especially for the last letter, because a lot of people don't know how to do pressure flips. So before you try doing pressure flips, here's a practice step. This is really going to help. You're going to stand next to the board. Your back foot is going to be on the tail, right in the pocket. The pocket is where the tail starts to curve up. You're going to be a little bit pigeon-toed, and you're going to press really hard on your big toe, kind of like you're trying to give your back toe side wheel bite. You're going to press it straight down into the ground and a little bit forward. This is going to cause the board to do a pressure flip motion. This is an inward heel flip motion. So if you're doing pressure flips the right way, this is what your tail should look like. You're going to be wearing it down on one side, the side that you're scooping and pressing under you. So after you've done that a few times, try to press it down with your back foot and then jump onto the board with both feet. This is going to give you a really good idea of how to do a pressure flip. This practice step is really important because it shows you how to do a pressure flip with almost no chance of getting hurt. So after you've got that down, it's time to do this trick rolling. Now, when you're doing this trick rolling, you're going to have to press a little bit harder, and you're going to have to get your front foot out of the way. So your front foot is basically almost off the board towards your heel side. It's just barely on the board, just anywhere that you're comfortable putting your front foot, that you have good balance, but you can get it out of the way fast. Okay, so the pressure flip is going to be exactly like the practice step. When you're rolling, you're going to be pressing your big toe on your back foot straight down and a little bit forward. Okay, so this is how I do it. I have all my weight on my front foot and my front shoulder, and then I shift all my weight back to my back foot. I'm jumping off my front foot first, and then I'm jumping off my back foot, pressing my back foot straight down, a little bit forward, right into the pocket. I jump off the back foot, I watch the board, it comes around, and you catch this trick with your front foot. Anytime your back foot is doing all the work, like a tray flip or an impossible, you're going to catch that trick with your front foot. Anytime the front foot is doing all the work, like a kick flip, you're going to catch those tricks with your back foot. So this trick feels a lot like a tray flip. If you can do a tray flip, you could probably land a pressure flip really quick. It's just that front foot catch. So once you have the practice step down, once you have the pop down, all you have to think about is getting your front foot out of the way. Some people do this by spreading their feet out in the air like they're doing splits. If you've ever seen a really steezy pop shove it or tray flip where somebody kicks their back foot out, that's a good way to get your feet out of the way. I did a few where I really kicked my feet out away from the board, and it did help. Another thing to think about when you're in the air is your shoulders. So much of flat ground skating, flip tricks, is in the shoulders. You have to keep your shoulders right over the bolts. We have a tendency to turn our shoulders perpendicular with the board, and that's just going to cause you to not land the trick. So consciously think about keeping your shoulders parallel with the board, right over the bolts. If you stay centered over the board the entire time, you're probably going to land the trick. One problem that people tend to have with this trick is they just don't lean back enough. You got to really shift your weight from your front foot to your back foot. And when you shift your weight back, you're going to be throwing the board forward. A lot of people will land too far forward on tricks like this or tray flips. They'll land with their front foot in front of the board. That's just because you're not leaning back. Just lean back a little more. It's going to throw the board forward. And when you're doing that pop, you're going to be pressing it forward, straight down and forward. So the board's going to land in the right place. Occasionally I'll lean too far back and just fall backwards, but I would say the majority of the time I'm leaning too far forward and landing in front of the board. Landing primo is one of the main problems that people have with this trick. And to avoid that, you're just going to want to pop a little bit harder and really jump off your toe, like you're trying to dunk a basketball. Think about jumping off that big toe and really pressing the board down to the ground, right on the tip, right in the pocket. Like you're trying to get wheel bite. Really press in that area of the board with your toe, and the board's gonna flip all the way around. As long as you're shifting your weight from your front foot to your back foot, pressing that part of the board straight into the ground, it's gonna flip. So after saying that, this trick is way easier off the nose, because this trick is easier with a board with steep concave, and the nose has a lot steeper concave than the tail. Usually, sometimes the board is symmetrical, but most of the time the nose is a little bit steeper and a little bit longer than the tail on modern popsicle shaped skateboards. Another good pressure flip tip is have really tight trucks. You can do pressure flips with loose trucks. I had pretty loose trucks throughout this entire video, but it is definitely easier to land your first pressure flip if you tighten your trucks and have really hard bushings. Another thing that really helped me land these pressure flips is DKL grip tape. You can get it at dklskateboarding.com. It's really grippy. It's rubber. It's not sandpaper. So it's nice to have really grippy grip tape for pressure flips. This is a really good trick if you have a sprained ankle on your flicking foot, because your front foot really doesn't have to do anything except get out of the way. It's a great trick for games of skate. Your friends are going to be mad because you're going to beat them, or at least get a letter on them with this trick. This is technically an old school trick. It was really popular back in 1991, probably before a lot of you were born, and it died out by 1993. But I feel like now with YouTube and social media, it's gonna make a comeback. So don't get discouraged if you don't land it the first day, because overnight your brain is gonna be thinking about pressure flips, and the next day you're gonna be even better. And if you don't land it that day, the third day you're gonna be really good. So I'm gonna try to do how-to videos on every single trick. So if there's a certain trick that you guys wanna see a how-to video on, let me know in the comments below. I can do flat ground stuff, I can skate rails, I can skate vert and mini ramps and stuff like that, so I'm pretty well rounded, so pretty much any kind of trick. I'd like to start doing a lot of how-to videos on mini ramp tricks, because I don't see a lot of videos on YouTube about mini ramp skating. It's mostly about flat ground. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a like And if you're interested in this kind of content, just kind of silly skateboarding content mixed with tutorials and vlogs, then I'm gonna have a button in the outro to subscribe to the channel. I've also got some of my other videos in the outro as well, so definitely check those out, and thanks for watching.